top of the morning to y'all. I just got on my red tunic. I just went to a dream. Even though niggas usually dream means accomplish goals. But I guess if you're moving forward in life and you in little things, you can look at it as a dream. And my music was booming. Like it was, someone might have like, what's the word? Someone might know somebody that's heard their music. Someone might play their music. But not everybody has their music loud in the atmosphere with no speakers. So that being said, while my music was loud in the atmosphere with no speakers, and a particular person that is not stereotyping life, and don't want me to say they're arrested. And I'm a chief watching that plane of people that are arrested, and people are just vice versa. But I'm a chief, so I'm still watching this plane that same way. So all the ways to get free, and my music was playing, and when it was playing, I saw the world shifting to my music. Excuse me. So I went to a dream and saw that where I'm at right now was shifting. Not really changing, but the benefit of doubt excuses people would approach me with before I went to that dream was getting thawed out. Now, I have this common sense as much as the next person to know that's called the spiritual radio station, and that's what played. That really, the other songs was playing, but I was in my dream mocking people. So, even though this is the same thing as over there, we can't call this a dream, okay? So we can't call this a dream, but this is the same as over there, and I'm doing the vice versa of what I was doing over there. So over there, it's rated Z played, and people inside of this domicile was getting dealt with. And I had someone confirming it for me, and I had somebody arrested from that domicile, so they didn't really want to talk. And oh, they know I got one more. Who do? Oh, people that's watching me, because and they acting like so. So that the song was booming, was stalling out all the people's bullshit of who I am and what they can claim I ain't, because I haven't proved the stereotypes. I didn't do they stereotypes of proving that means I am who I am. But when I was in the dream where this plane, well, I went to the dream. So I went to the dream. And in the dream, that doesn't correlate to what a dream is. But yeah. I'm roasting y'all, so I gotta pause where I still gotta build up the stupidity. Cause y'all know I'll be going for hours. So y'all let it out. But it confirmed everything for me. My last fruit snacks. So in the dream, everybody knows what the fuck is in this house. And I can't call this a dream, but it's the same thing. But this plane, everybody knows what the fuck was in the dream. So I went I went to the dream where everybody knows what's in and what's up and on that plane. And my music was booming. And guess what? Everybody knew what the fuck was up in the dream. So everybody knows. I'm about to roast y'all. I'm about to roast the fuck out of y'all. Y'all been stereotyping life out of jealousy for too long. So after so now the people in the dream that know what's up on this plane that we can't call a dream, they're trying to tell me, but in the dream, who are they? And now if I go back to the dream, this plane knows. So so now I just want one view to show up so I could just talk to them and see how much more stupid they are gonna act. Because after It's Rated Z played, which is it's the dun 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 dun. Oh, it's my song. Well, the remix. that people know it by before they know it as my song. Quote unquote. You feel me? It's like, I didn't figure out that I didn't make kung fu. You feel me? So, it doesn't change after I come back here to this plane that we can't call a dream. But I guess out of fear from the dream, the people getting watched from the dream, grabbing everything, the people on this plane that can't call it a dream would try to say. And yes, stereotypes of life of why I'm roasting y'all. And that's why I'm roasting y'all. So So after like a saber tooth, who, cool, and then I was like, who knew? You feel me? Just doing the correlation, the chronological happenings of existence. New saw baby 2 Chainz, school, hey, I'm the best in the A. Hey, guess what played after that? That made it really more obvious that everybody knew. Hey, you know it's case closed. I know all y'all move. What's up, man? I know you've been waiting to use that Facebook shit. Who is you? So we could tell the whole world and not just be between me and you. Cause I'm out to roast y'all for stereotyping life. I'm sorry. I have to. Nigga said he the feds. Oh my goodness. So then, other songs played. That's amazing. So then, after leaving the plane that gets to be called a dream and coming back to the dream that doesn't get to be called a dream, somebody starts talking about, I want to have a village. I want to be spiritual wealthy. Nigga, you is 2 decades and a half decade plus 3, and you still telling people you want a village? When? Why didn't you become a cop? Why didn't you learn martial arts then? But if you trying to finesse into someone's village, why didn't you become a cop and then learn all the people in the goddamn world? Since you talking about asking Santa Claus and you not even on his, you feel me? The dream people is trying to tell me not to be so loud about how stupid these people was and they was betting on them. Then you talking about you want to be spiritual. spiritual. Well, I thought someone would give me spiritual. Well, if you don't shut your parasitic tick looking ass up and can't absorb anything, boy, I'm sorry if I rub my nose a lot. I'm still working on the dream plane. But yeah, so at the dream plane, my music was just booming. I was amazed. how much my music was loud. You feel me? I wasn't amazed that it was booming. I was amazed at how dumb y'all acting, and it's booming. And I keep saying, because I want to just be able to tell y'all how stupid y'all are. I want to tell y'all how stupid y'all are. For me jumping from a dream, a plane that I can call dream, and then back to this plane where I can't call dream. And I saw that y'all was aware. But the only reason why y'all don't do telepathy in between other people's planes is because of so fill in the blanks. But y'all still stout. Y'all is firm. So now I'm getting called fill in the blank because y'all are stereotyped in life. So I make definitions look good. I'm ugly. You feel me? I'm weak. I'm not doing nothing. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. So the thing about it is, when I'm in the other plane, I'm working another plane, and then vice versa. You feel me? So if I choose to skip my lunch breaks, y'all just made this whole bundle. Y'all done made this whole bundle of shit talking me because I chose to skip lunch breaks. So when I went to the dream plane, I clocked in here. And my music was booming. So it was explaining what I clocked in and was always about. And I don't have to elaborate. I'm staying this. So now, the thing about it is, I've been working plane to plane. And after people understand that I'm still working this plane, I come back to this plane. But I start hearing, the real construction work. But I start hearing about how he didn't tell us yet. So they built this whole guild, and then the plane that I'm working when I'm here first absorbs what they got kicked out for thinking after I was just on the plane, and they had to, instead of saying I'm working, they said I went to a dream. So the camouflage of me working is me dreaming. It's clever. Y'all is clever. So, and what's worse about it is the dream and me dreaming about working, you feel me? Y'all calling me working, dreaming. The person that was arrested on that plane, we seen on this plane, has a Facebook. Right now, y'all can see that I'm in tune. If y'all wasn't trying to roast the Queen Guard, you feel me? It wouldn't be this big fog of attitudes not wanting to display. Let's get this man to a plane where he's not arrested at. But no, keep your stupid ass there and then wait for time to run out. Because in the end, I explained this before, the detention center is only supposed to be a 48-hour. Because, it's more of, when you get upheld in the detention center, it's more of no child gets left behind, no matter what the subject is. So if you need to get your ass beat, then the higher up cops would tell, a chief would tell you to release him in 24 hours instead of make him stay 48 hours. And you get your ass beat. If you are lost in the streets and you get upheld, you feel me? Whatever reason why you ran away or got lost in the streets, you will go. So detention centers are ships. So detention centers are ships, okay? I have many ways I can elaborate. So for the ones talking about what the fuck he's talking about, obviously, I can't talk metaphysics, long words, because y'all not on that level of comprehending other than plain. So I'm talking how I will teach a kid about the world. So detention centers are ships. You get upheld. I really don't know what 25 to life is, but that just shows you people need to be fired. Because if you're if you killed somebody, you get dealt with instantly. You feel me? That's how you know these people aren't real cops. Or, you feel me, if you trespassing, 48 hours of knowing, did you learn your lesson and know how bad your ass whooping would be? You get lost in the streets. 48 hours of being upheld and meditating of what you want to do after you get back from the ship. So, you know, now it's like, what happened? Have you been upheld? No, because it's my ship. I can steer that bitch from any room. The fuck. I mean, I'm in the goddamn detention center, going to a plane I guess it get called a dream. Back to the plane that can't be called a dream. So, you know, everybody knows where the ship is landing next, you feel me? So I'm gonna, just to give the example that it. So I was in what's Valdosta State, right? I was in Valdosta State, where the White House, people that is okay from the White House can speed as much as they fucking want, but out of jealousy of me having a speeding ticket, they wrote me a speeding ticket. So, writing me a speeding ticket because I have the ticket to speed, and me telling them where's the injured party, and they already know to the next plane, to the ship's getting steered to the next plane, they getting their ass whooped. They wrote me a speeding ticket because I'm wealthy, and on the next plane, I can go in the bank like Harry Potter and goddamn pay this ticket. So, he arrested me. But what happened was, no one showed license, and I was in the car with someone else. And guess what he told them they can do? They can drive the car without a license. So, I'm in Valdosta, I'm in whatever county. And I'm telling them I'm not about to cooperate. This man just wrote me a goddamn speeding ticket telling me I can speed in any ship I want. So here, pay this price. So I guess he was begging for mercy. And he was like, if you want to help me, if you really want to help me badly, this ain't nothing. It's just me trying to cover up begging for mercy. So, you know, I went to, and they kept me in for a couple days. But they was like, he can let himself out. But the problem with that is, people, like I was just saying, before I traveled to this plane, before I went to this dream, and back to this plane that can't be called a dream, every time I travel from a plane that gets called a dream and back to this plane that can't be called a dream, there was a whole clout that you might as well get your ass beat or let us spit in your face because you're going to be straight on the other plane that gets called a dream. You feel me? Oh, no, you can't do that. Or you can't drink all that juice. You can't eat that food because you're going to be straight on the other plane that gets called a dream. So I was like, you know, that's the reason why I didn't unlock the door when I got arrested coming back from Valdosta State. Because niggas want to Jason Bourne me. They want me to... And then they tell me they charges of how badly the ass whooping is from the next plane, that the Earth is a ship, travels to the next sun, the next star, and be like, you can't do that. What are you doing? You feel me? And all are they doing is telling me from Earth traveling to the sun and me going to the plane that gets called a dream, they're gonna get their ass whooped. And then I come back to this plane that can't be called a dream, and instead of them respecting that I was just watching them on the plane that gets called a dream, and they notice that I'm watching because I don't come back to this plane that can't call a dream unless they all notice. They talk about, you can't do that. What are you talking about? Oh, I don't want to hear that. Because that's... So, you know, I a couple days, and, you know, they've been trying to figure out who's been steering the ships and bringing people to their plane. So you feel me? I bring the wheel with me. You feel me? I got down wherever they put me. I wherever, you feel me, I bring the wheel with me, and I travel, and I drop everybody off to their debt. So, you know, instead of being like, wait a minute, he drops everybody off. He's the driver for the Magic School Bus. Hey, if anybody that gets off the Magic School Bus, we can't fuck with them. We have to let them go. Off of the driver. So guess what they do with the driver? They complain about what they think the driver gonna tell them. So, you know, that's what happens. And yeah, so, you know, I drop people off to their ass whoopings. Hold on. So, you know, I drop people off to their ass whoopings. And you feel me? I went to one detention center driving the bus. And, well, you know, I'm still driving the bus. It's like, okay, he's driving the bus of this sun. When the sun goes down, who gonna drive the bus? They're like, he drives all the buses? I'm like, bro, how many fucking days? How many goddamn 24 hours? Times 365, times 25, you gonna figure out that he drives all the buses. You're waiting for this bus to leave so you can see him drive all the buses again. Or is that how you just cope with your fear? So once again, I'm the one that parlays. Hold on. But yeah, I'm the one that parlays. And hold on. And people is mad because I'm the steerer of the Magic School Buses. And people are so like I said, I was just on the so people are using benefit of doubt to look tough. So the way that I quote unquote defeat them is prove that no one gave them the benefit of the doubt. So I go to this plane that gets called a dream, and they see that I'm watching. I'm the steerer of the magic school buses. And I guess me being on the plane, they're like, how can you steer the bus? How can you steer the plane and be in the plane at the same time? How can I steer the plane and be in the plane at the same time? How can I steer the plane and be in the plane at the same time? You know what they just said? They just said that I usually steer planes without being in them. And the person and the person that has the wheel is just goddamn security. Slick. So, you know, there's a lot of people driving. A lot of people being confirmation drivers instead of the steerer. So, you know, that's what people are saying. So, you know, I go to the dream. I go to the plane that gets called a dream. And they're about to say the stupid shit that the people on the plane that was not calling it a dream was about to say. But you feel me? In their whole existence of living, that's one of the things that wouldn't make sense. So they about to be like, ha. So that's why I guess that plane can get called a dream, because it's just like, what the fuck you mean? How is he steering the plane? And he's in it. The steering wheel is in the plane. But you know, it's an inverted compliment of wanting the benefit of doubt, and they don't know they're giving me a compliment. They're saying I usually steer. I can steer without being in the car or the plane. So yeah, so I go to the dream. I go to the planes called Dream. I go to the Dream airline. Where they already knew I was steering without being in the Dream airline. Then I go to the, can't call it a Dream airline. And people was like, well, I'm running with it. I'm not about to stop saying, how are you steering the plane? I'm like, well, bitch, I'm lethal. I thought I'll be said the other way, but you know. So, you know, being on a Dream airline, you know, they already knew that was stupid. So they was about to say, he has to show us he's steering that plane he was just on that can't be called a Dream. And you know, I do. I show him. So, you know, I go on my Dream. I go on Dream airline. And this time when I was on Dream airline, my music was booming. Like, my music, like, y'all can't lie to me. Like, my music was booming. Obviously, you telling me it's not booming just means you don't like me as an artist. That's all y'all saying. And, you feel me? The song played was like, hi, everybody, y'all sit down and get ready. And I'm just goddamn doing what I usually do, right? And people is like, he usually does that. But people mad when I come back to the plane that can't be called a Dream, but go to the Dream. the plane that can be called a dream. You feel me? They have to say like, okay, so this is the circumstance. When I'm in the plane that can't be called a dream, they have somebody to direct they bullshit to. But when I go to the plane that gets called a dream, people is like, shut the hell up. Because it's just like, what is you talking about? You're asking him. You're asking him. How is he doing it? From a whole nother plane. You're asking him, how is he steering this plane still? From a whole nother plane. And you feel me? I guess the only common sense left is wait for him to go to the plane that can't be called a dream and hope that he crashes the plane. So, that being said, the people on, you feel me? This is the only plane with a pie chart of how stupid people are. Every other plane is like, this boy is steering that bitch. And he's doing it like lifting weights. Like, if he pull up to my plane, I'm not about to disrespect him. Because I'm scared of him where he at in lifting weights. So this pie chart of stupidity, they do the opposite. I don't have to elaborate, stupid bitch. Get a job. I want to own a village. Well, first of all, you got to get your own plane. First of all, you got to learn how to steer a plane. Then you got to learn how to make houses in the plane. And then 2.5 decades old plus 3. And you talking about still trying to starting your spiritual wealth now. I mean, you talking about you want to start your spiritual wealth. You don't know when your spiritual wealth gonna start. So you don't know when you're gonna make your own plane. You don't know when you gonna have friends. And you don't even know how to create. And you just around the driver of the magic school buses. And he just cleaned you out. And now someone's trying to copy you on another plane. Trying to stink on him. Like it's gonna fog up the goddamn and then you're trying to annoy the driver. So, I'm roasting y'all for stereotyping life. I have to. I can't even multitask and meditate. But I juggle so much. The magic school bus driver juggles so much that people is like, I bet you can't juggle another one. And then he juggles, I bet you can't juggle another one. And then he juggles, I bet you won't let one of them die. What the fuck? Bitch, I wasn't adding more things to juggle because you said, I bet you can't juggle another one. The fuck you mean? I bet you won't let them die. I bet you won't give me a village. I bet too. I bet I won't either. Spiritual wealth. Bruh, we is past the spiritual phase. That's how much spiritual wealth you got. Your spiritual wealth is not going to build no more than that. Your attention span is too short. You feel me? Your attention span is too short. You talking about spiritual wealth to another broke spiritual wealth person. And all y'all walk around, it's like motherfucking, what's them shit, them skeletons from Legend of Zelda. We see who got the most buses at night. Nigga, you don't even got one. What the fuck is you talking about? Let's see who got the most buses. I bet you don't steer off the buses when this bus shows the sky stats. Nigga, you can still look at the sky stats with this bus in the way. Spiritual wealth. Bro, you is broke. You is broke. Yes, that's a threat. Okay. Well, it's war, baby. Where you want me to drop you off at? You want me to drop you off at the Gladiator Dome where I'm up next? Where you up? I don't want you to drop me off nowhere. Hello? Okay, my bad. I don't want you to drop me off nowhere there. Well, you know, if you keep threatening me, you're choosing where you want me to drop you off. So once again, from the plane, all the commotions of the stereotypes of life right now are in the plane that can get called a dream. In reality of how the free will is all in this plane that cannot be called a dream at this moment. So that means this plane is actually cleaned out now, and the objective is to clean out the plane out. But that's what we've been doing that. So no, I've been going live. We can go back to all these lies. Detective work, goddamn that animal, goddamn coronavirus cure. All, you feel me? We can go back to all of them lies where I was juggling all the magic school buses and people just hoping that a leak or a crack happen and they can gloat about me not being a great juggler to other people. And it's just like, I don't know why y'all put emotions to where I'm militantly sadistic at. Y'all not looking at my emotions because y'all are scared of how courageous I am. But y'all looking at how sadistic I am and saying that that's me. So yeah. And you know the dream plane is bad just off of cadence talking. Now the whole core logic of history just disappeared. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we still on that same plane. And the thing about it is, I guess this is the last plane that needs to be. No. What happened was, every plane has been efficiently cleaned out. But this, you feel me? I'm elaborate on it. People went to a plane, learned how to live in life, but instead of respecting personal space, they took responsibility. Look at this. I'm gonna make him not say it because he knows I'm watching it. In maturity, he's not gonna want to say it because I know what he's about to say, and I'm guessing. As a weapon. So now, people that can be mature but don't want to and have a great excuse not to be mature in their heads is making ultimatums to be responsible. So I was saying I might want to call we're gonna use that as a language, okay? So that being said, and it has its own game of people that show you that why I didn't. And just be like, who's not independent? And then, why? You feel me? What's always going to be on my face is that I want to roast people. You feel me? Because if I wasn't an independent person, I'd be roasting myself by saying, who's not independent? So I'd be like, who's not independent? Hold on. You feel me? That's just one way that I'll attack it. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about all the different ways I will attack immaturity. People's ultimatums of being okay. So I'll be like, who's not independent? They gonna be like, you're not. And then I'm just gonna give a moment of silence, and maybe I might ask the question again. You feel me? Just to hear the cadence talk, confirm. People got dealt with and dropped off from one bus to another bus, and now they back on this bus playing dumb. So I'm like, who's not independent? And then they're going to tell me this same situation has just happened. You're not. You feel me? Say like this. A knight told the princess, you're in trouble. You feel me? The knight told the princess, you're in trouble. What does that mean? That means he's about to protect her because it's her night. So when she was like, "You're in trouble," if it felt up like he was telling her, those are all the people, you feel me, that the night's about to kill for her. So I'll be like, who's not independent? And they'll be like, you're not. So, as someone pleads for help in space, then I'll be like, what makes me not independent? And then when all of that is disarrayed from the conversation, it's not a conversation no more. It's a battle and an ultimatum of I'll be responsible. You feel me? They thought they was clever with that. So I'll be like, what makes me not independent? And then people start talking about, you don't have a job. You don't provide your own money. You remember, princess, you're in trouble. You fiend for us to get you where you need to go. The best way to also put it is, just imagine me going to the plane that can call a dream. You feel me? And they have to come. They know that I'm surveying, and me being closer means I'm not surveying or some shit. So, but I guess I'm not the first chief surveying. I guess that's the best way to put it. I'm not the. That don't make sense, but that's like saying all of them gonna beat my ass, but he not the first one. So we can play dumb or something. So you feel me? They be like, you need to get a job. And then I'm like, then I might say something like, who said I don't have a job? Then it'll be like, where? Well, where's the money? Then my question would be like, how does life work? Because I might be too intelligent, and y'all don't notice that I'm roasting y'all right now with asking rhetorical questions. But how does life work? And they be like, you get a job and you provide for yourself. You don't need someone to provide for you. Then I'd be like, who told you I needed someone to provide for me? Then they'd be like, well, why are you how are you eating in the house? And then I'd be like, yes, how am I eating in that? And then when all that energy is disarrayed, it's not a conversation no more. It's a ultimatum battle about lie and I'll be more responsible or some shit. So then, when I'm like, I'm like, okay, how am I eating in the house? You feel me? Rhetorical questions. And they be like, people are buying food. Remember, princess, you're in trouble. So then, after I asked a whole bunch of rhetorical questions, because I see valedictorians are getting bullied for being valedictorians, I'll start to ask more intelligent questions. And this is where people will try to argue after I ask intelligent questions. Where does food come from? And people gonna disarray the whole teaching that life didn't start with buildings. They gonna disarray the whole thing that people was conscious in the first existence, because people was conscious with their ancestor. They just wasn't born yet. So I'm like, where does food come? Someone that's never made food and try to fight people that make food will leave the plane and come back to the plane and either try to say food comes from the store. So when princess, you're in trouble, the princess is not going to be like, well, who got me in trouble? The princess is going to ask questions to get her Glock. She's not going to be like, well, who got me in trouble? Who wants to kill me? So for me to elaborate that much after I say, where does food come from, after saying, who said I'm not independent, and then going to where does food come from, you feel me? You do the simple math. If I say, who said I'm not independent, and and the subject starts with who's saying you're not independent, and then you feel me, there go that bullshit for saying, yeah, you're the magic school bus driver. I was just on another plane learning about my body, but I'm not going to give you no credit because I learned it on my own. And I do my responsible ultimatums. I gave you an ultimatum that if you treat me this way, you let me rape you, then I will play responsible. But if you don't let me rape you, I didn't learn it from the magic school bus driver. So then it's like, okay, so I'm arguing with people that want to rape me, and they're like, rape you? And it's just like, we're not grown. And after I say we're not grown, that's where the whole shit be like, well, you just brought up rape. I'm like, okay, but everybody has their own dialect. Why are you using other people's? You feel me? Princess, you're in trouble. To understand what I meant when I said the word, in the degree when it goes to that peak. So, people disarray if it goes to that degree. You feel me? How lethal I am, and just try to argue with me. And then I'm like, so none of y'all know where food comes from. You feel me? I'm not asking to take nobody's ass. I'm asking magic school bus driver, because just like you can go to LA Fitness off the magic school bus driver, I can tell you where food comes from. But instead of me saying, so no one knows where food comes from, and then me elaborating that, first of all ancestors knew their kids was conscious. before the kid had their own body. They're like, you feel me? They skipping. Well, why don't you tell me where food comes from? They just, what is this? What are you talking about? Like it's like guessing what that person would say, and you come with them with stupidity. So then it's just like, so then at the ultimatum responsible, you feel me? The ultimatum responsible battle of, I'm not going to be responsible if you don't let me take advantage of you. And then they know they're not that responsible, so it's a stupid, lazy getaway conversation to say you hate somebody without saying it and still sound intelligent or some shit. Then I'll be like, so do we know where food comes from? It comes from the store. What are you talking? Okay, but how does the store get food? And we don't hear about forests getting raided for their food. No one thinks about all of that because it is handled, right? And this is where someone tries to argue with me after I say, because it's handled, because people know the Magic School Bus driver is handling it. So, yeah, duh. And it's just like, and so then the duh kind of emphasizes no more questions. So it's just like, so who said I'm not independent? And then they, what are you talking about? Like, how are you going to say that makes you, because that's what they would have to, if they wanted to go through a line, because I didn't help them through their line, if they wanted to get to the next bus and not look stupid. So then I'd be like, so how can I prove to y'all that I'm independent? And then they'd be like, get a job. I'm like, then I was like, okay, well, what if I do have a job and the job just takes time to get respect because the money is showing up, it's just not in Federal Reserve notes. You feel me? I'm like, what's your job? And then when I'm about to bring up the job, they on another bus trying to mock what I said, so I don't say it because it's just like, you're about to repeat what I'm about to say. What you mean, what's my job? You feel me? Just like the people on the other buses talking about that I'm scared to yell or some shit. Yes, I am scared. Everything y'all saying about me is facts. That's y'all slang for the truth, okay? I'm scared as shit. So then, now I'm trying, and then I'll be like, okay, so all I'm trying to do is figure out how can I prove I'm independent. You feel me? That's all I'm trying to do. They're like, I'm like, but I do. That doesn't make sense to say, go get a low-rank job, and I have a high-rank job. And they be like, what's your high-rank job? I'm like, and then there's a pause again because it's just like, and then you feel me? I just elaborate. I'm like, okay, so how do y'all get to work? And then it's going to pause. And the people that don't get to work and don't have a job, that's trying to make it look like I don't have a job, are going to be stinking up the atmosphere. And then it causes a cold red, and it's just presidential talk about be quiet when the president is talking. And you feel me? So then I'll be like, if you feel me, it's still emphasis on you're saying, what is you saying? You take everybody, and then I just pause because it's just like, you believe it. So then I'll be like, you feel me? I'll try to find a way to elaborate on what going to another plane means. So then people that's still giving their ultimatums to be responsible because they was in a plane learning all about responsibility and thinking it could be their weapon when they come to the reality plane that they was at before they went to the plane learning about responsibility and being in the community. Then I'll be like, okay, so what do you guys know about planes? And then, whatever subject I'm on, whatever subject of maturity is at, I would elaborate on planes. But if people is too immature to comprehend planes, then I'm going to talk about the regular hieroglyph that signifies the changing of planes and who's the chief of the plane. So I'll be like, so what do y'all know about planes? And they be like, what does that mean? I'm like, well, do y'all know that the person that's holding the steering wheel, and then once I say steering wheel, everything that people know about how a steering wheel works starts to echo, and how much I know about a steering wheel starts to echo. So then I'll be like, well, y'all know the pilot that's holding the steering wheel is just being security for no one to go approach the steering wheel when the real steerer is steering the plane. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm telling you that planes get steered outside of the plane. That's normal, right? You feel me? People hit up the pilot and tell them how to steer. It's more advanced than that. The pilot is the last go of the steering. And they're like, what does that do anything? I'm like, are you trying to say? And then it's you're, and it's just a big avalanche of you're the steerer of planes. And then the avalanche of dreams and all this start. And I just stare at them like, I'm like, well, I'm not the one hoping that the plane crashes. And then you see how serious I take the steering of planes. Mister. So when people, like I was saying on a Facebook post, when people guess what a conversation with you will go like, so their whole vocabulary and conversation is talking what they guess you would say, so they shut themselves up. You feel me? So it's just like everything they say is like, oh, Mister, how you doing? You feel me? Mister, I want a village. Mr. Spiritual Wealth. Mr. So you thought I was down for the count. So yeah, so then it just become these people's waging war against me because you just said and it echoed how rhetorical your question was, but you wanted me to answer it to kind of make it look like you can bullshit some more. You said, are you trying to say you steer all the planes? And then, if I say, yeah, they're kind of happy because I do more than that. Well, hey, how you doing?
What do you mean, the me?
So, they know who I is from 1/16/30. 38. But yeah, so, so it comes to attack on my different aliases that I have. And you feel me? Occupations. So, I'm not going to want to talk after this person just opened their mouth and said, so you steer all the planes?
There's multiple uses for banana peels, and that's what I was trying to go into detail. But if you don't care for the detail, that is perfectly fine. And if you don't want to eat, that's fine. I was gonna put it up anyways, the excess.
And then, and then someone's like, well, and I'm like, it looks like they know I do. So it's just like, who's not independent? I'm sorry that I'm steering goddamn planes. If I get kicked out of this fucking house, I still gotta steer the goddamn plane. You feel me? I still gotta fire people that try to take jobs that's not their occupations. I still gotta get rid of the people that don't listen to that they're fired. You feel me? If I don't have a safe house, I still, you feel me? I'm not about to make, man, fuck this plane, crash, and then turn it into, like, I'm not. It's me that has to deal with the headache of, so you thought I was down for the count. I have to deal with, you feel me? It don't matter what the fuck you say I'm not doing. I have to still deal with the headaches of doing it. So, I'm just going to file the headache you trying to give me into whatever occupation you saying I don't have. You're not that cool. Bitch, I didn't say I was cool. You're not doing all of that. What is all of that? and so that's why I brought up. So you're saying y'all don't know how the forest came about from the desert and vice versa? Because it's just like, it doesn't change with buildings taking a desert spot. You know, like, that's why people be like, oh, they deforested to put a building. Well, it was a desert first. So it was just, it's like, if you feel me, if it's not great math and the forest makes more sense, then yeah, that's stupid. But being like, oh, they deforested the forest and it was a desert first. So we got Mr. Whisper again. Mister, I call upon all the gods. Mister, I call upon all the archangels. Mister, I bless my food. You know what that means? They can't touch nothing in the grocery. Mister, I bless all my food. So yeah, hey, I'd rather someone telling me that I ain't doing shit than someone have a sword to my neck because I'm doing it. You feel me? But hey, beggars can't be choosers. So yeah, I'm just gonna still roast y'all about the stereotypes of life. You feel me? I might do a part 2. Might stop for a minute because y'all thought I was down for the count, but all I know is I was just on a plane that gets called a dream. Hum it, baby. Where no one told you nothing different. My heat wave started shattering because you couldn't use me as a checkpoint to know what I when and what and how. And then came back to this plane that can't be called a dream. And y'all trying to touchy-feely me as a checkpoint to not be scared of how scared y'all was when I was on the plane that y'all call a dream. It's just like, but I was just on the plane what y'all call a dream. And my heat wave was scaring the shit out of y'all because I am who I am. You feel me? And now you got these people on that plane when it was just really me making more planes out of this domicile until I cleaned it all up. So now it's people, you feel me? So it shows people is no different. So, you can't make me mad that I say, man, fuck being the driver of the magic school buses. Even if I did say that, that wouldn't, you feel me? Now that's a threat. But yeah, so this deja vu of so that confirms everything, and I'm just about to let that load because they thought I was down for the count. Mister, my water broke. Fuck out my face.